All right, so today, let's dive into the incredible story of an 18th century Indian poet. This is a story about a man whose life was completely shattered by heartbreak, but who then took that pain and turned it into some of the most beautiful art you can imagine. So you have to ask yourself, how does that even happen, right? How does a guy named Ganandan, a high-ranking courtier, take the absolute crushing weight of rejection and transform it into this legendary body of devotional work? It's a pretty wild transformation, and we're going to break down exactly how he pulled it off. And his story really boils down to this idea right here. One poet, two loves. His entire life, everything he wrote, it all circles around this powerful duality. First, there was this passionate, earthly love for a woman that almost completely destroyed him. And then, a divine love for a god that, in the end, actually saved him. Okay, so to really get his journey, you've got to start where he did. And that was in the lavish, high-stakes world of the 18th century Mughal court, under Emperor Muhammad Shah. This wasn't just a place of politics, it was a place where fortunes and hearts were won and lost. So if you look at his early life, you see this guy on a serious upward trajectory. He was born into the Kayast community, a group known for being scribes and administrators. So he was smart. And his talent got him noticed, landing him the super influential job of Mir Munshi, or chief scribe. But, it was in that glittering, complicated world of the court that he met a celebrated courtesan named Sujan, and just fell completely head over heels in love. And you have to understand, his personality is everything in this story. He wasn't just a casual guy. People describe him as deeply sensitive, incredibly passionate. The very things that made him such a brilliant poet were also, you could say, his greatest weakness. For him, love wasn't just a part of life, it was the whole thing. It was all-consuming. Which brings us to this, the turning point, the moment the slide calls insult and a broken heart. And this wasn't some slow decline either. This was a single catastrophic event of public humiliation that just shattered his entire world in an instant. Yeah, it was a brutal chain reaction. First, he's publicly insulted right in front of the emperor. In response, the emperor banishes him from Delhi forever. And then, just when you think it can't get any worse, comes the final blow. At his absolute lowest, he goes to Sujan, the woman he loves, and asks her to come with him into exile, and she says no. Just like that, in a single day, he loses his career, his home, and his heart. And you can just feel the pain in his own words. His famous verse says it all. "O Sujan, listen to what my heart says. I cannot live without you. This is the truth." It's so raw. It's so desperate. You can feel that anguish jumping right off the page. I mean, what do you do when you've lost everything? For most people, that's the end of the story. But for Gananand, this is where things take this remarkable turn. This is the journey from Sujan to Sham, from his earthly love to a divine one. Rock bottom became the foundation for this incredible spiritual transformation. He didn't just get through his pain, he repurposed it. He just walked away from it all. The courtier, the famous scribe, the lover, that guy was gone. He literally traded his fancy court robes for the simple life of a monk and joined the Nimbark sect, which is a branch of Vaishnavism that's all about the worship of Krishna. And he moves to Vrindavan, which, is the place associated with Lord Krishna. And it's here that he channels all of that intense, burning passion he once had for Sujan and redirects it. The new object of his devotion? Krishna, who is also known as Sham. And this chart breaks it down perfectly. Look at the two paths. On the left, you have worldly love. The object is Sujan, the result, heartbreak and exile. But on the right, you have spiritual devotion. The object is Krishna, the emotion is the same, that intense longing, but the result is completely different. Timeless, beautiful poetry. One path led to his ruin, the other led to his legacy. But here's the really brilliant part. This is the genius twist. He keeps writing poems addressed to Sujan, but now the name has this incredible double meaning. Is he talking about Sujan, the woman who broke his heart, or is he praying to Lord Krishna, who is also known by the name Sujan, which means the wise one? With that one clever move, his earthly pain and his divine prayer become the exact same thing. It's amazing.
So all of this, the pain, the heartbreak, the spiritual journey, it all funnels into this brand new revolutionary style of poetry. He becomes what we now call a free poet.
He became the master of a style called Ritimukt. So what is that? Well, poetry at the time was super rigid. It had all these complex rules and structures you had to follow. Ritimukt literally means free from style or free from the rules. It's poetry that just throws all that out the window to get straight to raw, genuine, authentic emotion. It comes directly from the heart.
And when you read his stuff, you see these themes over and over. He's obsessed with Vairaha, that feeling, that deep pain of being separated from the one you love. He mixes that worldly pain with spiritual devotion, so you can't tell them apart. He uses simple, beautiful language. There are no fancy tricks or ornamentation, just pure, unfiltered feeling that feels incredibly personal, but also totally universal. Now, if you want to dive into his work, these are the big ones. His masterpiece is Sujin's Sagar, which means Sujin's Ocean. It's this huge collection that really explores that dual love we've been talking about. It's works like this that cemented his legacy as the absolute master of the Ritimukt style, no question. And that's why he still matters so much today. Seriously, this guy isn't some minor historical footnote. His work is considered the absolute peak of this whole poetic movement. You literally cannot study 18th century Hindi literature without studying Gananand. He's essential. You know, when you step back and look at his whole life, the big takeaway is just this powerful idea of transformation. He didn't just get over his suffering. He took the most painful experience of his life and he distilled it, he refined it into something beautiful and universal that still connects with us hundreds of years later. And so his story kind of leaves me with this question, and maybe you too. Is there some kind of necessary link between suffering and creativity? Is the most profound art really born from the most profound pain? It's a powerful thought to end on.